We're going to do bodice variations. This is like the slash and spread method. So it's just moving darts around different places on the body. And actually we're going to do one with darts, one with pleats, and one with gathers. So you've got different ways you know how to mark it, how to lay it out on the form. First one we're going to do is bust waist darts, so it's still 2 darts like the basic was here. In some places you might go and they might consider this the basic. This is also a basic bodice. So just so that you go somewhere and you're being a pattern maker all of a sudden and they say, oh, this is our basic, and you're looking at it going,
no.
What basic are they? So the setup is exactly like the basic was week 1, 11 inches, or 1 inch in, 11 inches down. And because we have 2 darts, we're going to do the secondary grain line. If you don't have 2 darts, you don't always have to have this one, but this one is that line that's 7.5 over. And down to balance it out so you've got your darts balanced and equal on both sides. Putting it on just like we've done before. So straight up and down center front, your line straight across the body at the bust line. And then straight down on your secondary line to the waist. So you've got it all balanced. Doesn't matter which one you start with. I always start with my waist. It's just my doing things. I actually tore my fabric, so it was all for the longer one. So I'm just going to do some of that. So the waist start is exactly like the basic bodice. With 3 clips. So it'll lay smooth at the waistline. Pinning all the way up to the bust point. Up your side seam. So it's exactly like the first one. Neckline, and I'm going to give you the option if you want to change your neckline on this and play around with it a little bit. It has to be within this area if you want to change the shape. But whatever you do to the front, you have to do the back. So you have to remember because your shoulder seams still have to match. But even if you're changing the neckline, still have to do it exactly the same. So you're doing those clips and smoothing. This time we're going all the way to the armhole instead of stopping at the princess line for that dart. So you're bringing everything down under the armhole. Then you're going to take these ones out. So it's just the same thing. You're not trying to make that flat. That extra fabric's going to be there. You just want it to be smooth around that area where you're going to draw it in. And now your dart ends up centered on your princess line. Or not your princess line, your bust line. This is bust. Kind of weird. Princess going that way on the body. And then you wave your dart out. So whatever you want to do. So if you wanted to do something different, if you wanted to do a lower, or you wanted to do a V, you wanted to do a sweetheart, whatever you want to do, or you can leave it normal. I don't care. Go across. Same thing here, that mark at the top of the shoulder. The mark there, where it starts to curve over at the screw length level, under the plate, down your side seam. Always put your mark on your bust point. Waist. Make sure you've got everything marked off and take it off. And check. It's pretty much the same. A lot of this is going to be reviewed from the first bodice. Drawing your dart in, so you've got your original dart as your guide, going up to your bust point. Coming down the inch for the back off. And drawing your adjusted legs in, nice and straight. And your dart closed. Again, it's up to personal preference which way you fold this one. I'm always going to fold mine towards the side seam. .90 degrees, center front of the waist. Here's your curve. Seam allowance. I need to grab my other pair of scissors next time. So that's pretty much exactly like we did the first week. Not a bit, or second week, whenever that week was, since we did the alteration of weeks. Shoulder seam. For this one, since I dropped it, I'm not going to drop it another 3/8. That's only because you don't want it to be right up here and tight. But unless it's a V or a sweetheart that comes in on that pointed angle, it's still a 90-degree angle coming into center front, or you're going to have a weird shape to your neckline. And then still 1/4 of an inch here. Side seam, dart, following your lines to the bust point. And this one is a little bit different. When we did the shoulder dart, they were both backed off an inch. This one still is 1 inch down. This one, if you do 1 inch down, it's still really close. You're still going to get that kind of a point in the bust, and you don't want that. So you're actually going to go this way 1.5 inches. This one always folds down towards the waist. You're never going to sew or fold side seam dart up towards the armhole. Straighten it. I pulled mine in just a little bit. And then the same adjustment, I'm going to go down 1 inch and out 1/2 inch, so you've got that ease for breathability. 1/2 inch seam allowance. So it gives you the position of your side dart. And then armhole, same rule, against that one, and sitting on your drop line. Keeping it straight after it hits that line. Add your 1/2 inch seam allowance. And green line. Information. So you've got that all on. I'm going to finish cutting it out and it's ready to go. You're going to do a back for this. I'm not going to demo the back because I'm going to let you try to figure out and remember how to do it, because it's exactly what we did before. Now you haven't done it yet, but it'll be okay. I'll help you with it. And then you'll have to do the other one by yourself or with the help of the tutor. But when you go to do the neckline, if you switch the neckline, that's what's really going to be the difference. You need to put this back on here before you can mark the neck of the back, because they have to meet up exactly here. And then you still are going to walk it when you're done, making sure your side seams match and that your shoulders are still lining up and matching. So that's number 1.
All right.